How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Is It Worth It? My name is Jeremiah.
I'm Luke.
And today we're going to be talking about Doom Eternal. Okay.
Another Games Pass game.
Another Games Pass game.
100% free.
That's going to be a trend. That's going to be a lot of what we do is
We're
Games
very
Pass games.
poor.
Because they're free, and if they're free and fun, why not?
Why not?
Why not, indeed?
Lends itself even more to the premise of, is it worth it? So if it is, we can probably recommend that you just stick with the free-to-play platform, because you do have to pay for Games Pass. That isn't
so
free.
it's not free, like...
Although
I forget how much...
it is almost free.
It's
If you
like
wait till
$50?
Yeah, but if
for
you wait
3 months or something?
Wait till Black Friday, go to Target, you can literally buy like 6 months of Games Pass for like $20.
Yeah.
It is dirt cheap. That's what I do every year. I just load up on Games Pass then, and I'm good for the rest of the year.
That's what I'm
Target.
doing.
Target's where you go. Don't even bother with like anywhere else.
Yeah, I played the previous Doom. Whichever one came with
the
2016?
2016 reboot.
Yeah, I played
Which
that one.
wasn't actually a reboot. Everybody said it was a reboot. They are dead wrong. It is actually a direct continuation and sequel of the original Doom games. And I am not a Doom lore expert, although I've listened to probably 4 or 5 hours of Doom experts explaining it to me.
Yep.
It's kind of complicated. I would say that it is worth giving a listen to them, not me. I will say, just because I want to make a point for the sake of this video, this game is surprisingly lore dense for a game that predicates itself on heavy metal, shooting, like insane, like epileptic seizure-inducing light shooting, and near constant movement and demons getting ripped apart every like 5 seconds.
It's Doom.
It has a crazy amount of lore to it. It really does. If you look into it and you read it, you will be shocked to find there is a straight line between the original Doom games and this game. They fit, and it does work. It's not one of those things where you're like, yeah, if you like look at it from this perspective and you take like this one sentence from the guy here.
Close one eye, tilt your head, and close the other eye. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's straight up like it is just a canonical entry in the Doom series, and I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, let's talk about gameplay. What was your favorite part about Doom Eternal?
Oh man, my least favorite part.
Okay.
About Doom Eternal was the traversal bits. The
traversal bits?
Yeah. How you move about the levels.
Oh.
And stuff.
Like not the arbitrary like jump puzzles that you have to solve?
Yeah, like most of this stuff is fine. Like none of it's bad. It's just like some of it, because the nature of how you move, some of it doesn't always work correctly.
That's true.
All the time.
Yeah.
So, like, just that part was some of my least favorite bits.
If you don't have good reflexes, this game will punish you for some stuff.
And those things aren't difficult to do. Sometimes they don't work right.
Well, because of how...
That's what I think.
Well, how fast you're moving, and then how sometimes you have to, like, time jumps while shooting at, like, gate openers.
Yeah, you have to get your double jump to swing off the bar to dash into the refill and then shoot the thing and double dash to the door. Like...
That's pressing the limits for the amount of, like, non-scripted, like, on-the-fly memorization for some people. If you're not a shooter...
Once you get it, it's not that bad. But the biggest things for me was just how...
I can imagine myself playing this as a younger kid, and, like, I would have destroyed controllers playing this game. Just from the arbitrary difficulty of the traversal. You are correct. That was probably the worst part about it.
And for me, For me, it's not because I think it's hard.
It was difficult. It was definitely hard.
It's difficult when it needs to be, but it's fine. It's just like some of it just seemed to not. Thinking of when you get to like Urdak, and you're doing those long jumps between like portals that are shooting you places.
Yeah, it was like
you don't always go where you're supposed to.
That was exactly what I was going to point out. Like there were numerous times where I just got literally launched, and I'm like, I got to go that way. Why am I going this way?
Yeah, so small bits like that where it literally does not work right.
No,
eventually it does. Like okay, now it just decides.
Yeah, after you do it like 15 times to finally get it right.
I didn't do it that much.
I did.
I did like 3 times.
I definitely did. This game.
Apparently, I'm better at it than you are.
You are, definitely. I am not the kind of person that is very good at snap reflex button mashing. Like I suck at quick time events.
But no, my favorite aspect of like the actual gameplay is something that Doom did very well in the previous title as well. They continue on here is making each gun actually useful.
Yes. Although I will say the plasma gun, the shotgun, the super shotgun.
There are some that are just stronger than others.
Like, I literally used those, I think, 80% of the time.
But given that there are certain demons that you can kill more easily with certain guns, I like.
The Arbalest,
they have a little more natural weaknesses.
Yeah, like the Arbalest, like it'll just cut everything in half as it goes through.
Yeah.
I used those to clear out congested hallways quite a few times.
Yeah, so stuff like that where like they clearly have a purpose, but for the most part, I was using sticky bombs from the shotgun. Like that's that's what you run around with,
especially to kill like the flying
70% of the time.
The flying like fireball demons that are just like the basic ads.
So the little ones,
they'll nickel and dime you to death.
The little ones you use that on, but the bigger ones, what are they called? The pain elementals. The larger ones that spawn and shoot the flaming skulls at you.
Oh, are those like the cacao demons? Cacao, whatever. The eyeball demon that looks like a meatball with a mouth?
No, those are the little ones.
Yeah, but the bigger one that has the horns on it that spawns...
Yeah, pain elemental.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was the name. I literally just remember them as being like different like sizes.
Those, like, they're very difficult to take out.
Yeah.
Unless...
You have the just the little seeker missiles that takes like 10 of them.
Like you can use those, or what I always used was because I liked saving those for dudes that were on the ground.
Oh, okay.
The missiles, because you get better splash damage. If you're shooting a big dude surrounded by little dudes, you get splash damage that way. I would use the turret. Once you get the heavy turret, just use that and it kills them like 2 seconds.
Yeah, the turret was really useful. I used the super shotgun. Did you ever upgrade it all the way till it was like a flaming? Like when you grab them, it lights them on fire.
I got every mod and got mastery for every mod.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
I only mastered the ones I used. I didn't use the turret. Like I upgraded the super turret that like explodes into like the Duke Nukem gun. That's like all the bullets.
Sure.
That was the one I did for the turret gun. I did the Arbalest like it just immediately refunds. What does it do? Like if you shoot it and it like kills a bunch of things, like I can't remember.
Right, it's one of its. I think it's the top ability, the top mod ability slot in the screen when you're looking at it. That the shot embeds in the demon, and if it explodes and kills a demon next to it, then it automatically like it automatically reloads. It reloads faster.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I did that one. I did obviously both on the shotgun, the normal shotgun, because they're both really overpowered once you get them, especially when you start fighting the Hell Knights, because they close ground super quickly, and when you start getting the higher levels of them.
The Arbalest for the Hell Knights.
Really?
Yeah.
I
think shotgun and Arbalest.
Well, I think that really proves the point you're making, which is that you can literally come up with a combination for really any gun in this game, and it's deadly, like super deadly. Yeah. The only thing I found that wasn't really that useful was the like microwave beam on the energy, I
love that thing.
I didn't really use it because it requires you to like stay too close, and I liked to back away from things.
Oh no, see, I am the guy that like kind of by accident, but also just kind of how I play, is like stand in one place and like dares everybody to come to me.
Oh, okay.
To where I am like, especially once you get everything upgraded, freeze bombs. Mm-hmm. And your little flamethrower thing, so it's like constantly feeding you health and then shield and health and then shield, and I can just keep everybody in front of me, and just that's not all the time, but when I had large groups, occasionally you got to bail and then come back. But like getting in those situations, I didn't mind because the mechanics of the game make it easy enough for you to stay alive.
Yeah, large groups of enemies are your friend, not your enemy, because they actually get in each other's way, and it creates very good opportunities to basically get endless armor.
Yeah, especially when you're using like the flame belch and stuff.
Yes, but the way I played it, where I would run in real quick, I would spam all the grenades in the flame. I would pan everything with the flame first, freeze them, then double up on the grenades, and then immediately jet away and let that do its work. And then I would just start running a circle, usually in whatever room I was in. And hardly ever died. I think I died like maybe 2 times. Even on the hardest difficulty, which it does get very difficult, you can survive if you just keep moving. Like, this game is just, it tells you, don't stop moving. It really means it.
Yeah,
don't stop
for
moving. And when you run out of ammo, just chainsaw, dude. Literally, you get everything back. Like, this game is not hard once you figure out. Don't play it like Call of Duty. You play it like you play the original Doom, which was just a 2D, or not 2D, it was a 3D, just, you just move and shoot. Like, it's not a tactical shooter. It is not tactics. It is just rip and tear until it is done.
There are some tactics which I do enjoy. Because there are like certain demons that you come across.
Sure, very
do
basic.
need to be fought very specific ways.
Yes.
Like when you come across the Arc Vial.
Sure, the Arc Vial and the I'm thinking
like
of like the
very specific way.
The Cyber Demon, the one that like sits on like the little like floating pod thing.
Yes.
Like if you try to take him out with anything but energy weapons, you're gonna hate life.
I mean, I use the energy weapons,
and then you can kill him easily.
Well, and then I stopped using the energy weapons, and I just you just blow up the platform.
See, the
platform is actually like you can target his shields, knock his shields down, but his platform is actually the weak point. So you just load up like 5 sticky bombs on that, and it takes it out.
So what I did was I built up the heat, and I had that one maxed out. So it was like just purge through like 80 shots, fully max out the heat, wait for a couple ads to group up around him, purge that bad boy, knocks out the shield, destroys the little under tank thing, and then you just hit him with like a few of the sticky bombs, and he's done.
But the plasma beam thing is good for taking out groups.
Yeah.
Once you actually get the mastery,
I didn't
because it
use
explodes and kills things around it.
Yeah.
So you wear down the larger demon like you're talking about, and then kill him, the strongest one, and it kills like everybody around him.
See, I didn't run it that way. I just had certain weapons that I just cycled out and used, and I really didn't touch some of the other ones until I absolutely had to. I actually ended up having like more BFG ammo than I knew what to do with. I literally didn't use it.
I
used it on the boss at the very end, the Icon of Sin. I used the BFG on him because it was too easy not to.
Yeah, just why would you not?
Why would you not?
Damage if
and
you
the game literally gives you like unlimited BFG and sword ammo, so like just use it.
Yeah,
you're not gonna. I don't know. There's like a conservation mentality people have where it's like, oh, I can't use it. You just
like on the harder difficulties, resources do become more scarce.
Yeah, I will say I started playing this game on the hardest difficulty, and by the end I was on the easiest just because I don't care about arbitrary difficulty. Like, I just want to play and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to play this just to prove how much of a, hardcore gamer I am.
I don't care.
And then in the end I was like, I don't care. This is way too much work and I'm not having fun anymore. I'm like stressed out to play this game. Yeah. That's not fun anymore. So, that being said, the game has great mechanics as far as the weapons are concerned. The melee kills never got stale. They were good. They were just always good. I love the variety of the enemies. It's never a dull moment playing this game. The collectibles are fun to get. I will say they're a little underwhelming at times, but the Praetor tokens that allow you to get the different suits that you can wear.
Did you upgrade your suit all the way?
I did. Fully upgraded the suit. I did almost every weapon. I got bored upgrading the weapons though because like some of them I just didn't use because I just didn't care.
Yeah, because I 100%ed all the collectibles, everything. So I completed the Praetor suit and have like 17 additional tokens because there's that many more in the game.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't count, like it gives you the opportunity to upgrade your suit all the way without getting all the unlocks and getting everything.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I did all the stuff anyway. I did all the gates, the whatever they're called.
The Hell Gates?
Yeah, and I got the Unmaker, which if you're going to play the game again to like 100% it, which Jeremiah did with some of the cheats,
I ran through all of the, like, completed the game, and then I went back to 100% all the collectibles and everything. So I went through and I did all the Hellgates, got the Unmaker, and then I just went through with like the unlimited ammo cheat and unlimited lives just in case I happen to die, which you never will.
Unless you're stupid, just jump off.
So
the cliff
unlimited
like
ammo with
times.
the Unmaker, and he's just like blazing through it. The only thing that, again, going back to the whole tactic thing, there's one demon that you actually have to tactically fight.
Which is?
Is it the Hell Knight? The one with the shield?
Oh, you're talking about the hunter or whatever. He spawns out the little like dog thing that comes after
whatever
you.
that one's called.
Yeah.
That's the only one we actually have to tactically fight because he's only vulnerable when he attacks.
Yeah.
And if you are shooting him, he is constantly
you can passively damage him if you time your grenades and your belch correctly. The flame
You
thrower.
can, that takes too long.
It does, but it is a way to nickel and dime him if you suck at the timing of it, which this game is so fast. I think my one complaint is that everything moves too quickly. It is a very fast game, and there are moments where...
You certainly feel that way at the very beginning, but I think you do get used to it. At least I did.
I did, but the movement, you start to actually feel slow after a while, because the environments are really large, and it's easy to... It's easy to get used to it, and you will get to a point where you're like, man, I wish I could move faster. Which, when you first play the game, you're like, oh my god, I'm moving so quickly. Like, this guy's on crack.
But you're right. As once you get like halfway through the campaign, you're like, I need to move faster. Like, I can't move fast enough at this point.
You do get used to it.
Definitely.
Like, my wife was pointing out, she's like, how are you keeping up with this? And I'm like...
I'm going so slow. What do you mean?
Slow, yeah.
There's only one speed, but I'm moving so slow right now.
Yeah, like, my weapons are taking forever to cool down. Like, I can't... I'm like... jumping and like doing the you can do
just get your quick change down so you get the automatic
you can quick scope
weapons.
Man, you can quick scope so easy in this game.
It's fun too.
It is really fun.
Especially like the maker drones and stuff, because that's how you want to kill them, because they drop tons of resources.
Yes,
and stuff.
you just pop them in the head real quick. Super fun.
Then you get, it's even better when you get the play with the cheat that the Quake cheat that cheers when you kill stuff, and the confetti cheat. So when you get headshots, they burst into confetti.
Yay!
I tried all the things.
There were a couple of moments where I genuinely had a really difficult time. The 5th Hellgate on the 3rd level of difficulty is very hard. Very hard. It is a very claustrophobic arena with very little cover. And if you do not get very good at jumping and shooting and constantly moving and looking for enemies to use the flame belch on and chainsaw, you will die and you will not complete it. It is very hard. It just is. So I completed that one on... That was the point in the game where I was like, okay, I proved a point. I can do this. Now I don't care anymore because I just want to have fun.
Right.
And so I just moved it to the lowest difficulty so I could just blitz through the rest of it.
I did not do this
anymore.
on the harder difficulties because I don't care that much. Just like Live, like I'd rather have a good time playing it and have it be challenging enough.
Yeah.
But like to play it on the hardest difficulty, like why? Like that.
So,
if you're into that, cool. It's just not fun for me. So it's like
the boss fights.
The game's still the game.
The boss fights have good mechanics. Like the Con Maker fight was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. A little underwhelming.
A little,
honest.
Yes, it was. But I still found it to be simple enough, but also difficult enough that it made sense for what it was. Sure. I will say the fight that I enjoyed the most was the arena battle with the giant armored knight when you first get the
the gladiator.
The gladiator. That was cool.
That was a fun fight for sure. Because it was a 2-stage fight. So
yes,
that made it nice. Reminded me a little bit of God of War. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
A little bit it did.
So that one was fun. Also, some really cool lore that you pick up along the way. Again, this game is surprisingly rich in lore for being a very simplistic premise.
If you pay attention to it, there's quite a bit there. If you don't pay attention to it, then you don't care and you're not really missing much.
You're still going to have a good time.
100%.
I will say the Icon of Sin fight at the end was also underwhelming and not hard in the slightest.
Yeah, like the only thing that...
I was just running around collecting the sword ammo and cutting things in half constantly.
Like, not playing it on the hardest difficulty, I'm sure if you did do on
Ultra
Nightmare, things are more difficult, obviously.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
like
there's
just
somebody
the
who's
mechanics
like,
of the fight were very simple and basic, which isn't a bad thing, but it would have been nice if there was just a little bit more
variety
on the mechanics side of the fight for some of the final boss. Like, again, the Maker, the Con Maker was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, and the Icon of Sin, like, kind of just, like, collapsing like a giant robot. It was like, really? That's it? Really?
And,
like, this is the soul of a former Praetor Knight that has, like, been transmogrified, the game's verbiage there, that's not a real word, transmogrified into this giant Baphomet demon monster thing, and all you do is blow the muscles off of it, and then it just like falls over.
Well, I mean, you tear the flesh off of anything. I imagine it's gonna die at some point.
Yeah, but it just is like a skeleton basically with like meat and bones on it. And
I mean,
then,
it's like a 2-stage fight because you have to remove the armor.
But then you stab it in the brain, and that's it. I was like, really?
Yes,
really?
but it's the crucible you stab it with, so it's the crucible that has the specific energy that disables the Titans. Because that was the whole thing when you take the crucible out of the Titan that you kill from the previous, it's still there. So you have to go and get it. He leaves the blade into it because if he takes it out, it's actually going to come back to life. So he has to leave the blade inserted into the Titan and then go and reforge it.
Yeah.
At least that's what I gathered from all of that.
Yeah.
So it made sense enough for me.
The fight was underwhelming.
A little bit. The majority of the game is very fun.
The Hell Priest fights are really cool, especially the very first one. The game like just tosses you right in the deep end, like right away. It's like, oh yeah, look, this is one of like the bosses, dead.
Yeah, it's like
first mission.
You never fight the Hell Priests.
No, I'm just saying like they're a boss, like in the sense that you're trying to get to them, but you don't actually fight them.
Of the game,
yes,
that you're constantly searching for, and then you get there, and then the game kills them. You don't. You just like.
Because they're super weak and helpless, kind of
not
like the
actually strong.
They remind me of the priests from Halo.
Haven't played.
Oh, really?
Never played a single Halo game.
Oh my gosh! How have we not had this conversation? Can we be friends anymore? Like Halo, geez, that's one of the OGs. Anyway, in Halo 2, there's a fight where you literally just like grab on the side of the chair and you just like punch this old thing in the face until it dies. That's literally how it goes. And I'm sure that like all the people who played that were like, wow, that is an oversimplification, but that is literally what you do.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of what it reminded me of. The game, it's good. The score really lends itself to the atmosphere of this game. The environments are incredibly well designed, very difficult to traverse at sometimes, rewarding when you find the things you are looking for. The upgrades are not arbitrary. They actually have real effects that do help you.
Yep. Yeah,
upgrading weapons is not an option like it is in some games. It is a necessity, and you will... it is, for sure. Certain weapons, quality of life that you get from having a fully upgraded shotgun that can fire 5 of the little sticky bombs without needing to reload.
Having the precision bolt.
That too.
Is so key to disabling many a mechanized demon.
Oh yeah. There are quality of life upgrades that you should strategically plan out when playing the game, especially if you're planning on playing at a higher difficulty, so that you don't run into a point where you're like...
That being said, though, you can play them all. The game provides you
multiple you can have any strat you want.
So it's not like you have to prioritize one weapon,
but there are
for a certain situation,
there are
there's
more
always
effective
multiple
weapons,
options for any situation.
There are more effective weapons, though. There just are.
For certain situations, but they're not the only option.
True.
Is what I'm saying.
I will say, though, the shotgun and the super shotgun is the best close quarters weapon, period.
Once it's fully upgraded. Shotgun?
Yes.
I use the least of any weapon.
Really?
Yep.
What I would do, again, going back to like how you can play it, I would usually weaken something to the point where I knew that I could just one blast it real quick, and I would clear rooms so quickly with that. I'm sure that there are people who are better at it than I am, much better at it than I am, but I found that I never ran out of ammo for the shotgun, ever. And I found that being able to do the meat hook, which grabs them and it allows you to slow down time, allowing you to throw grenades as you're being drawn toward this enemy, and then do basically just an instant headshot kill on anything but the largest demons.
Yeah, provided that they're weakened enough.
I didn't see a strat. I used that a lot.
Yeah.
But then again, for me, it worked the best because I engaged from a distance, and I only closed when I needed to refill health and ammo, and then I would dip out. So the super shotgun allowed me to get in close, deal tons of damage, and then get out.
Which makes sense, but yeah, that was probably my least used weapon, honestly, aside from like the BFG and stuff.
Yeah, the BFG I think is a bit of a glass. It's a glass cannon.
I used maybe the ballista, the arbalist, and the
The Ballista I definitely
the
used.
Super Shotgun about the same amount because I would use them for the same encounter. I saved those two, especially the Super Shotgun,
right,
like, exclusively for the Knight dudes with the shields.
Yes, so
because they're most effective against them. For me.
The rocket launcher I used probably the turret and the rocket launcher I used the least for sure.
I ran out of rocket launcher ammo in every encounter.
I
used it so often.
I used the rocket launcher when I had to take out larger enemies I didn't want to get close enough to get clobbered by. So when you end up fighting like two of the giant like colossal demons that are like 12 feet tall, and there are numerous times where you have like multiple Hell Knights and those things in the same room. Like I would use those because you upgrade it to the point where it's fully beefed out and you can have two sets of trackers going at the same time.
Yeah,
that's really useful for clearing out ads. This game has a million different ways you can play it. My way is not the right way. His way is not the right way. It's fun. No matter how you do it. There are more effective tools available that you can use, but you'll have a fun time playing it no matter how you decide to play it.
100%.
I loved this game. I genuinely loved this game. It gets a little long in the tooth in some missions where you're like, okay, we get it. We've done the thing. Please, let's just move on.
Yeah, which leads into the length of this game.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's weird because you're right. There are some missions where it feels like it's dragging a little bit, like they could have been like just a little bit shorter for whatever reason. But the game itself feels a little too short.
It did. It definitely did.
Like
I got to the Icon of Sin and I was like, that was it.
I don't know how much time you put into the game.
30 hours.
Yeah, I did 30 hours, and that's playing through the entire campaign, going back and replaying to 100% and get all the collectibles, and then spending a little bit of time doing like horde mode and some extra stuff like that.
I think I did.
To get a taste of stuff.
I think I did like 30% or 70. I left 30% out is what I meant to say. I got about 70% of everything. Like I have no interest in platinuming this game. Like I just don't care. Yeah. There are games I do care about. This is not one of them.
Yeah, the actual like achievements I'm not too worried about. But like the in-game stuff is what I like. Like
sure,
in-game. What's the right word?
I do like
achievements and like progression stuff.
I will say I really liked when you get the action figures that plays like the old school theme.
And when you go down in your office and you see like I have all
all
of one is I have all my weapons. I have the albums set up all around the base. I have like the whole wall of figures, and I have like Doom 1 and Doom 2 unlocked on the computer.
Oh, I forgot about that. You can actually like literally sit down and do an emulator of like the classic game.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, both. Yeah, Doom 1 and Doom 2.
I would definitely recommend this to, I mean, really anybody. If you like shooters, if you like science fiction, if you like just running,
at this point, I feel like everybody knows what Doom is.
But there are some people, I guarantee
I imagine there's some people that have not played it yet. And if you haven't played it, it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you have Games Pass, because you're not paying anything extra for it.
It is not like Doom 3, though. Doom 3 was a weird entry in the franchise, which was more of like a horror survival.
For me,
Doom 3 is the very unique.
I always seem to be late jumping onto like franchises and stuff.
Me too.
Like Doom 2016 was the first Doom I played.
Same for me.
And the only previous one, I didn't go back to try and play any other ones.
I tried to play Doom 3 because it is available on Games Pass right now. It's
a little rough.
Yeah. I don't want to say unplayable because it's not unplayable, but it is such a downgrade from Doom 2016 that it's just not even worth it.
And I'd never finished Doom 2016. I don't know why, I just couldn't get into it enough.
That's fair.
So even finish the campaign.
Doom 2016 had a really good ending, I feel like. I really enjoyed the final fight, and it was hard. It was really hard.
But I didn't feel it in this.
The archdemon that you play, the spider god thing that you end up killing, that's like the general of the armies that you end up killing at the very end, was pretty
interesting.
Cool. Hard fight. Really hard fight.
But going back to the point about, like, I almost would have liked there to be more missions.
Yeah.
That took a little less time to complete.
Agreed.
Again, like...
But then again...
Time-wise, like, this is where...
This is an unfair criticism, though. Time out for just a second. Because Old Gods Part 1 and Part 2 are direct campaign extensions that have a decent amount of lore and content attached to them.
Okay.
So maybe it's kind of unfair to truncate the game.
But here's what I'll add to that.
Okay.
Because we talked about it before, and Luke's mentioned it several times, that the way that I judge games a lot of the time is when you're playing a game, you want to get 1 hour of gameplay for every dollar you spent on it.
Right.
Now, given that we didn't pay to play this game, we got
but originally, though, it was a $60 release.
That's my point. It's a $60 release. This
it
game
doesn't
is
have
not
60 hours of
This is
content.
not a $60 game. This is like a $30 game.
Even if you platinumed everything
I
and
would
you
pay-
were the slowest freaking shooter player ever, it's not going to take you longer than 40 hours max. 45 if you are a child at shooters.
If
like
you're super
if I was
slow,
teaching
like,
my wife how to play this game, it would take her 45 hours from start to finish. That's how long it would take.
Like, yeah, that's my big criticism. Like, this is
It's
not
not
a
long enough.
$60 game.
No, it
just
wasn't
isn't
long enough.
because there's not enough content to justify a $60.
No,
for me,
it's not.
like $30. Yeah, I could see spending $30 on this game.
Going
Going back to the point-
like a Call of Duty is a bad investment every year because it has like a 20-hour campaign. Like,
But
it has endless replay value in the multiplayer.
which is why I'm more on board with Call of Duty in that regard. Like,
Sure,
because
okay.
I will play Call of Duty titles and ignore the campaign. I want
Yeah, I'll never
hundreds of hours of
understand that.
multiplayer because that's what I enjoy.
And I buy Call of Duty for the campaign first and the multiplayer second. So
No, I checked out of the multi. Like, I play the campaigns, but I don't buy them for the campaigns. I don't care. I'm not buying that. I'm buying the multiplayer. I buy Call of Duty.
Cold
That's what
War
I'm
was
doing.
Hot trash. It's Cold War.
I didn't play.
Vanguard
I haven't played like
was-
the last 3 Call of Duties, I think.
Vanguard was just downright disrespectful.
But anyway, what was I saying? Something about
You were talking about gameplay hours and the fact that this game does not have the content
yeah,
to justify
and going
the
back
price
to
tag.
the Old Gods, right?
Yeah, Old Gods 1 and 2.
But you have to buy them.
Yeah, they're peripheral,
DLCs.
yeah.
You have to spend more
What are
money.
they like, $10 each or something?
I don't know.
Like
I
that?
didn't look.
I mean, if you love this game so much and you're playing it on Games Pass and you want to drop $20 on it,
Yeah.
Go.
I mean,
sure, go
from what
for
I
it.
said, like, money per hour spent. If I spent $20 and I get another 30
I guarantee
hours,
there's not 20 hours of content in those 2 DLCs. There's probably 12.
I'm probably
tops.
not gonna buy them. I'm probably not gonna play through them.
No,
just 'cause-
I won't either. I already know what happens and I don't care.
Yeah, like I've got the gist of the game, and for what it is, it's enjoyable. But to an extent, after a while, the difference in each mission provides enough variety to keep things interesting. But after
Yeah.
a while, things do get kind of stale.
Yeah.
But it is fun just to run and gun and kill stuff. Like if you're doing stuff in horde mode, which I've been doing lately,
Right.
Like it's still fun, but for me anyway, I just can't sit
Game-
there and do it for a long period
that
of time.
that game's going to get stale real quick.
So I don't know that it's worth the $60 price tag.
No.
So I wouldn't recommend buying the game. But if you have Games Pass and you've never played Doom, I would certainly recommend playing it because it is a really good time for like a solid 30 hours.
Agreed.
Like 20 to 30 hours, you will have a blast playing this game.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah.
100%. So do we have anything else to add to this? We pretty much talked this one out.
Did we talk about the music?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
We did?
Yeah, it's a
I'll bring it up
legendary
again.
soundtrack.
Music's wonderful. Like, and again,
If you're a heavy metal fan, obviously, I don't care for heavy metal, but I can admit that the ambiance and feel of this game, it's a metal game.
I would put the soundtrack for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal on just while I'm doing stuff. Just like in the background, have that playing. Like, yeah.
It's good.
I really enjoy it just because that's more my speed as far as the music goes.
Yeah. It lends itself to the eerie minor key hellscape action shooter kind of thing. It's very Doom. It really is. It's a genre specific, game specific
Yeah.
score that really is legendary for a reason. It's good. It's just really good.
Yeah. I don't know if we have anything else we need to
I don't
cover
really-
or talk about.
I'm gonna give this game like a 9.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it a 10 because of the shortness of the campaign.
Right. I'm trying to
But
think.
that's
like,
really
there wasn't...
the only real issue other than the traversal. Actually, I'm going to amend that 8.5. Because the
Yeah.
issues with the arbitrariness of how difficult some of the jump puzzles can get and the shortness of the campaign, it's an 8.5. It has, the strengths that it is good at, it does extremely well. The graphics are great. There's never screen tearing or glitches or anything. boss fights are usually pretty. They have a good flow to them.
Yeah, except for the last two.
Yeah, which are just boring.
The last two are a little under the Con Maker and the whatever of Sin.
Yeah, the Icon of Sin.
Icon of Sin.
Which is a classic boss from Doom 1.
Yeah, both those fights a little underwhelming.
Doom 2, I think, actually.
Man, I don't know where I'm going to land on this. Because on one hand, I really like it.
Well, what's your just gut reaction? Just first thing that comes to your mind.
7.5.
All right. So I just settle on an 8 then?
No, you can have your 8.5. I'll take my 7.5.
Okay.
I think
it's fine with me.
Like, it's good. Like, it's good. Definitely worth the time that you put into it. Because that's kind of the gist of this series. Like, is it worth it? Not is it worth the price, what we're talking about, even though we talked about that, but is it worth the time? Like, the 30 hours that I put into it, no issue with it. Loved every minute. I don't know that I'll put more into it because I've kind of done all I need to do.
I already deleted it. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it a day more.
See, I still have it because I'm like, I get hooked on those, like, in-game collection completion stuff because I'm going through and looking.
This is the guy that literally went through and got every single mastery on every weapon in the original Battlefront 1, which at the time my friend and I were like, dude, why it's I mean, like, with the Calibri and even with like the little like finger pistol thing, it was
I did it.
I know
all of them.
It was stupid.
But because to go like so some of that stuff, like I went through and looked at all of the collectible like achievement things, like a list of 100 of them
and you
in
just
the game.
Did them all.
And I haven't done them all. That's why I haven't uninstalled it yet. Because I'm like, maybe
am I going to
go
back and do it? Yeah.
Maybe I'll go back and just do it because that's what helps keep me engaged. It's like small little things that I'm working toward, like actually trying to do something. As soon as there's nothing
goal management,
as soon as there's no goals and you're just kind of playing, then it doesn't become fun.
That's fair.
Which is why I like
the second the story was played out, I was done. Like my first and only the thing that always captures my attention and holds it the longest is the story. If your gameplay sucks but your story is good, I will stick around. If your story sucks, I don't care. You could have the most gorgeous, most amazing game. I don't care. If your story is garbage, I will not play your game. I'm sorry.
See, I think. Well, I've talked about my thoughts on story versus gameplay. It's like one of the two has to be.
What is that axiom where it's like you can have 2 of the 3, but you can never have more than 2? Like you can pick, like with cars, it's like you can have reliability, you can have speed, or you can have like affordability. You can only have 2. You can't.
You're never going to get.
You can never have 3.
Like it's just not going to happen. So same thing with games. It's like occasionally. Like with games, I would just narrow it down to like 2 rather than 3, and it's very rare for both to be so high. But like if your gameplay is good enough, you can get a pass on kind of a lax story where like it's not that engaging, but it's just super fun to play, and vice versa. You can have kind of bland gameplay, but the story is interesting enough. So for me, it goes back and forth. As long as one of those is high enough, it keeps me engaged enough to play. That's Ideally, fair. You want both as high as possible, but realistically, like there's always a little bit of balance there. For me, anyway.
That's fair. I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. We both really liked the game, and if you did or didn't, let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and subscribe and share this video with the people that you think would enjoy it the most. That's how we're going to grow this channel and allow us to reach the audience that is enjoying our videos. If you didn't like the video, thanks for watching anyway. And Jeremiah.
And if you are listening to us over on Spotify, thank you so much. If you would leave us a rating and follow us over there, that'll help out a lot as well. And we'll see you next time.
Later.